What's up, YouTube? In this video, we'll be doing another installment in my Sudoku Shuffle series, a new series that I've introduced to the channel where I do a different puzzle each week in addition to the New York Times Hard Sudoku puzzle, which I do every day, and I also do the LA Times Weekly Impossible Sudoku puzzle. So this is just another puzzle that I'm adding to the mix. And it's just a random puzzle. Sometimes it'll be another classic Sudoku, sometimes it'll be a variant, a lot of times it will be a variant, and so we'll be doing another variant in this puzzle today. So before we get started, be sure to subscribe for more Sudoku videos like this, and if you'd like to try this puzzle yourself, there is a link in the description. So what are we looking at today? We're looking at a puzzle. The name of the puzzle is Slow Drive by DedaKosta, and this has a couple different variants going on here. So let's go over the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules, so we're going to place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box, just like normal Sudoku. We also have these white dots. These are also known as Kropke dots, and so white dots are indicate digits that are separated. Well, let me just read the rules. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and not all dots are given. So for example, if this was a 3, let's make that a 3 there. So this would either have to be a 2 or a 4. Those would be your two options there in that example. And not all dots are given. So you could have consecutive digits elsewhere in the grid. Just because there's not a white dot there doesn't mean that you can't have consecutive digits anywhere else in the grid. But you have to have consecutive digits where the white dots are. Adjacent digits on the green lines must have a difference of at least 5. And so these are also known as German whisper lines. So again, for example, if we had a 3 here, your options here for this cell would be 8 or 9. And digits on slow thermometers must not decrease from the bulb end, which is where these circles are, but can remain the same if allowed by other rules. So normally with thermometers, frequently what you're going to see is the digits have to strictly increase along the thermometer. But with slow thermometers, they can stay the same if allowed by other rules. So basically, for example, like say if you started with 3 here, this would have to be at least a 4. It could be higher, but it could be, or it has to be at least a 4. This would have to be at least a 5. And this would just continue like that. But with a slow thermometer, this digit here could still be a 5. Because it just can't go down. Like you can't have a 4, 3, 2, or 1, you know. So that's how slow thermometers work. And those are the rules. So again, there's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I do want to say before I begin that my intention was to solve this puzzle before I did this video, because it does sometimes take me quite a long time to get through these types of puzzles, and I wanted to make sure that I could solve it. So I got pretty far into the puzzle and I thought I had solved it, and I came to like a contradiction where I must have made a mistake somewhere along the way. So I have seen this puzzle before. I haven't solved it, but I've seen it before. I'm just going to go through it again very carefully and make sure, hopefully, that I don't make any mistakes this time. And so we'll see how it goes. But I have, broken into the puzzle and, of course, seen it before. So just want to make that clear. I'm still going to walk you through my thought process here, and I hope you enjoy the video. So let me restart the timer right here. Okay, so for this puzzle, what I would do, we have 3 thermometers, and they're pretty long. They go from one end of the grid to the other. So what I want to do is see what's the lowest possible this can be here at the end. Also on this one, if you look, these 2 thermometers are identical. this one's identical but going in a different direction. So let's start down here, and we're trying to find out what the lowest possible digit this can be out here. So let's start with 1 right here. This would have to go to at least 2. This has to go to at least 3. This could stay a 3 right here. Then we go to 4, 5. This could remain a 5. This would have to go to 6, and this would have to be 7. So the very lowest this digit can be is a 7. It could be 8 or 9 as well. And so what that means is this is going to be no higher than a 3. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, we'll have 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it's just going to go like that. And if that doesn't convince you that this can't be any higher than 3, just try to put a 4 in there. So 4 goes to 5, 6, 6. It could stay a 6 right here, and then we'll go to 7, 8. 8 could stay 8, but this would go to 9, and then you'd still have to increase it by 1 more. So you can see that 4, and that's the very lowest we could do. So this can't be any higher than 4. So these are our potential candidates in these cells along the thermometer. And so that's going to be the same for this thermometer up here. All right. Oop, there we go. All right. We're just going to do the same thing. I just want to go through this thermometer. I'm not just going to put the numbers in. I'm going to just make sure that that holds true going this way. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then it could stay 3, 4, 5. It could stay 5. It could have to go to 6, 7. So we do have the same situation here. So let's just fill all that in. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we got our thermometers filled in with their potential candidates. So then where do you go next, right? I would go here only because we have 2 different constraints going on, actually 3, the thermometer, the whisper line, and the white dot. So let's look at the white dot and think about this cell. What can this cell be? Well, if this cell is a 1, this has to be a 2. If this is a 2, this could be a 1 or a 3. If this is a 3, this would have to be 4. So this is our only choices here for this cell. Now look at this. Like, imagine that this was not a 5. Let's say we had a 5 somewhere else. So the first thing, one thing you want to keep in mind as well is that a 5 is never going to go on these green lines, these German whisper lines. Because remember, these 2 cells need to be 5 apart. So if you had a 5 on this cell or this cell, the other cell would have to either be a 10 or a 2.5. And that's not possible. So the 5 is restricted already to these 3 cells or here. So let's say we put it up here somewhere, and now this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad. Okay, so think about what we're going to put on this line. We can't put a 5, and the numbers have to be 5 apart. So one of the cells is going to be from the set 1 through 4, or a low number. The lowest it could be is 4, because 5 away from 4 is 9. So if it is a 4, the other number would have to be a 9. If we go to 3, then we could have 8 or 9. If we go to 2, we could have 7, 8, or 9. 1 would be 6, 7, 8, or 9, and that's as low as we can go. So if let's say we have 5 up here, and this is from 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't have any options for the low number on this German whisper line. So that forces this to be a 5. Okay. And now that forces this to be a 5, because this can only stay the same or increase along the thermometer. And it can't go to 6 right here. So this has to be a 5. So we can remove 5 from here, can remove 5 from here as well. Let's go around and just eliminate candidates from that? Okay. So the next thing I would look at here is staying down here. Let's think about if this is a 4. If this is a 4, this has to be a 3. Like 4 can't go to any other number here. It can't go to 2. It's not consecutive with 2 or 1. So if this was a 4, this would have to be a 3. And if this was a 3, this would have to be a 4. So you'd have 2 4s in the box. And that's not going to work. So we can eliminate 4 from here. And what that does is it forces 2 to be in here somewhere, because your pair is going to either be a 1 2 or a 3 2. So 2, no matter what you do, there's going to be a 2 in here. So 2 is not an option here anymore. And if 2 is not an option, okay, now 2 is not an option here. So let's say, is 3 still an option here? 3 could go to 4. Okay, it is still an option. All right. So just want to make sure there. So the 2, though, we can see the 2 points up here. So we can eliminate 2 from there. Now remember, we eliminated a 5 from this cell. So let's see. Can this still be a 3? If this was a 3, this would definitely go to 4, because it has to increase within the box. But then what is 4 going to increase to now? Now that 5 is not available, it can't. So that's telling us that this can't be a 3. This has to be a 4. I mean, it has to be a 1. And so 1, okay, 1 is taken out of here. This is just a 2 3 pair now. And that removes 3 from here, because 3 is locked into this 2 3 pair. So this has to be a 4 now. And actually, this has to be 6. I could have actually seen that anyway. The 5 would have forced this to be a 6. And then this is 7. 7 has to go to 7 here. The only options are 6 and 7. It can't go down to 6. So it can stay as 7. This is 8. This is 9. Okay, so let's just go around and clean this up after placing those digits. Okay. So a couple things. I am going to fill in the rest of this bottom row. So this is just 1 2 3. I'm going to fill this box in as well. So 1 is going to be in here somewhere. So we got 2 3 4. The other low digit has to be on this green line, and that's going to be the 1. The other digits, we have the 5, so we have 6 7 8 9. So 6 7 8 9. This is from 1 6 7 8 9, 1 6 7 8 9. Neither one is a 7 because of that 7 in the row. 7 is actually forced up here. And 5 is going to be over here somewhere, so I'm going to mark that. Okay, so the next thing that I did notice is that down here we have an X-wing on 1s. Look at this row here. Where's a 1 going to go? It's not going to go here now. It could go here or here, but nowhere else in the row. Down here, 1 is restricted to these 2 cells as well. So that gives us an X-wing on 1s. I'm not going to mark the 1s up here because it goes into 2 different regions, but I'm not going to mark that. But it is an X-wing on 1s. So 1 is never going to be here, 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 or here, or here, or here. So that's important because if these can't be 1s, and this can't be a 1, then this has to be a 1 right here. Okay, so what that means, over here we have this German whisper line. Now remember, we had let's see. Well, we don't know yet. This 5 could still, this could still go 1, 4, 5. Then this would be 5. But think about that. Think about that. Can this ever be a 5? It can't, because 6 is not an option now, right here. So this is not ever a 5. There's nothing for it to increase to. So we can remove 5 from there. Now if 5 is removed from here, this can't be a 5, because 5 would have to either stay the same or go up. So this can't be 5. And now this can't be 4, because 4 has nothing to increase here. Increase 2 there. So this is not a 4 either. So now this is restricted to low digits, right? Remember talking about the German whisper line, we need to have one of these numbers has to come from the set 1 through 4. Well, however this resolves here, we're going to need one more number from 1, 2, 3, 4 to be over here. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's going to be from 2, 3, 4. One of these cells will be from 2, 3, 4. We don't know which one, but let's say, just as an example, it could be this one, it could be this one. We don't know. But now I'll come over here to this domino. We'll call it a domino here. And let me do this first. Again, this is just the way I do these puzzles. I know it's not maybe recommended or you know, to fill in every potential candidate. Now this is not going to be a 4, because again, with the German whisper line here, this is going to be some combination of 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4. We're going to need one more low digit up here. It could be the 2, it could be the 3, it could be the 4, but the 4 is never going to be over here. Otherwise, all of our low digits would be over here, and we wouldn't have anything available for this German whisper line. So this is not a 4, and for that reason, this is not a 4 either. So 4 is in one of these two cells. Now coming back down to this domino, let's think about what this can be. We already can see this is never going to be a 6, 7, because then we wouldn't have any options for this cell. This is never going to be a 3, 4, because we wouldn't have options for this cell. It also will not be a 2, 3. Because remember we said one of these cells is 2, 3, 4. It could be this one or this one, but it doesn't really matter for the purpose of if this can be a 2, 3. If this was a 2, 3, we would have a 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4 would be the only options for 4 different cells. So we wouldn't have enough digits to fill these cells. So let's think about what this can be. Okay, 1 and 2 seems fine. 1 and 2 seems fine, so let's do that. We just said that 2, 3 is not possible. 3, 4 is not possible. Uh, 4 is actually going to have to be in one of these 3 cells. Because remember, like I said, over here and down here, we have to have, this is going to be some combination of 3 low numbers, and the other one has to go up here. Well, 4, we can't have 4 down here. That would be, this would be 1, 2, 3, and then this would be 4. We'd have nothing to put on here. So 4 does have to be in one of these cells. I hope that makes sense, because if it was up here, like if we had 4 up here, it would be the same thing. We'd have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 up here. We wouldn't have a low number to put on this German whisper line. So going back to this domino, 1, 2 is fine. 2, 3 is not. 3, 4 is not, because we wouldn't have an option here. 4, 5 is not, because we have pointing 4s here, so we can't do 4, 4, 3, 4 here, or 4, 5. 5, 6. 5, 6 looks like it could be an option. However, this is why I marked these cells up. If this was a 5, 6, what does that force this to be? If this is 5, 6, this is 7 for sure, then this has to go to 8, and this has to go to 9. So we'd have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So look at these cells here. If we had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here, the only options for both of these cells would be 4. That would be the only digit we could place in 2 different cells. Because remember, we have the 1, 2, 3 going on here. So 5, 6 is not an option. 6, 7 is not an option because that would nullify this cell. 7, 8 is not an option because if we had 7, 8 here, this would be a 6. And this would only have a 6 to go to. That's not going to work. And 8, 9, what about 8, 9? That would mean 7's the only option here. And let's say this was a 6, this could be 7, and 7 would have to increase to something. So 8, 9's not a possibility. So from all of that, we can say that this is a 1, 2 pair. That's the only option for this domino. So what does that mean? We point over here, it actually forces this to be a 2. This 2's not an option here. It's not going to be an option here anymore. We can't put another low number somewhere else here. So this has to be a 2. Oop, 2. So this could still be a 3 or 4. Could still be a 3, 4. All right, so we got a 2. So if this is 3, okay, so this could be a 4. If this was a 3, okay, so we can actually place this 4 over here because think about this. If this goes to 4, this is going to have to be a 4. And then that's not a 4. If that's a 3, then this may be a 4, or it's going to stay a 3. Oh no, it could go to 5 though. It could go to 5. So we can't place that 4 just yet. Cannot place that 4 just yet. But where's 3 going? So 3 over here is going to be in one of these 2 cells. Three is in one of these 2 cells. 3's in one of these 3 cells. So it's going to either be here, or if this is 1, 2, 4, this is 3. Let's see, up here. Let's think about 5 up here. This might help. Along this line, where's 5 going to be? Like, if this is a 3, this could be 4 and 6. So I'm trying to see if 5 is forced to be up here somewhere. Or actually, maybe this is the place to look here. Let's look at this cell. This can't be a 1, 2, can't be 3 or 4, cannot be 5 or 6. This is only from 7, 8, 9. Whoop. Ah. There we go. Okay, that's the only possibility there. So we got 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one's pretty low here too. This is only from 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's not 7. 3, yeah, so 3 and 4 are forced here. 7, 8, 9. What am I forgetting to look at here? 1 is up here somewhere for sure. So we got 1's over here. Oh, I'm not going to corner mark those, but 1's up here. Actually, 1 can't go here because of that X-wing. What am I missing here? 5. 5 is restricted. Oh, 5. Yeah, look at this. Okay, 5s are restricted right here. We can't have a 5 along here. And over in this box, we're not having a 5 here, or here, or here. So 5 is somewhere up in here. I'll just mark that. It's not going to be here. Oh. Ah. Oh, ah. Okay, hang on. I just got a message here. That's nothing. All right. So the 5s. This can't be 5. What am I doing? Okay. So do you see how the 5s are squeezing 5 in this box into this row? And it can't go here. This is not going to be a 5. This won't be a 5 either. Why will that not be a 5? That could be a 5. I should have had that as a 5. But 5 is still limited to these 2 cells. And that means this can't be a 5. That cannot be a 5. That has to be a 4. That's going to make that a 3. That does place a 4 up here. That places a 5 here. That places 6 here. 6 can only go to 6. In this case, this would have to go to 7 and 8. That does place a 9 way over here, okay? So yeah, this is good. Okay, let me just clean all this up here. That's not 6. Okay, so now what do we have? So 3 is placed here. That means that this has to be a 3 also, because if this is a 4, it can't go down to 3. So this is a 3. Okay, we got our 3's taken out of there. We can take 3 out of here. And now 5 is placed right here, because when we had 5's restricted here, we placed some digits. So now this is the only spot for 5 in this row. All right, so let's see now. Let's see. So let me just complete this row. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, but not 3. All right, so what else do we have going on here? So now 9's not a possibility here. So what does that mean? Can this be a set? Can this ever be a 7? 7 would have to go to 8, which would have to go to 9. So this can never be a 7 now. This has to be a 6. Take 6 out of there. Now we have a 7, 8 pair. Wait a minute. Hang on, hang on. Not a 7, 8. This is a 5. That forces this, well, let's see. This can't be a 7. It can't be a 7. This has to be a 6. I should have 5 there. That's the problem. Yeah, so this would actually have to go 6, 7, 8. Because, again, 6 and 8 is fine. 6 can go to 8, but 8 wouldn't have anything to go to. So this has to be 7. This has to be 8. And now this does have to be a 5. Because we had that filled in from the column. I mean, 5 could still go here, but for this specific cell, 5 has to go there now. Okay, so let's remove 8 from there. 7 from there, 6 from there, 6 from there. 8 in the row now, removes 8 from there. This is not 5 anymore, so 5's up here somewhere. That means that's not a 5. This is actually a 3, 9 pair, it looks like. So let's take those corner marks out. Let's come up here and clean that up. All right, so we're cooking now. We're cooking. This is an 8, 9. All right, where do I go now? Did I miss anything? Okay, this is 6. Okay, this can't be a 7 because it would have to go, it would go down to 6. That's not possible. So this has to be 6. Okay. So this is 4, 7, 9. That's not 9, that's not 7. Okay, and actually we can place this 9 because these have to be 5 apart. 9 and 4 are 5 apart. But 7 doesn't have anything to go with. It would have to be a 1 or a 2 over here. So this has to be a 9, 4. Okay, that places 8, that places 9, places 7. We got a triple here now, so 1, 2, 8. This can't be 1, remember, because of the X-wing, it can't be a 1. And this is a triple. This is a 5, 6, 7. Actually, the 7 has to go here. We got 7 here and here, so that has to be 7. This has to be 6. That has to be 5. Okay. This row, or not row, the column here, let's fill that in. We need a 1, 2, 4. Actually, we can just place the 9. The 9 can't go there, can't go here. It's got to be right here. It's going to put 9 in one of these two cells. This will be a 1, 2, 4. It's not going to be a 1 because of that X-wing. All right, let's still have a little more work to do. I think. Okay, 4. Let's see. This is going to be some combination of 3 low digits. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, or whatever. 4. This can't be 4 because it can't be a low digit. We need to keep one of those. Keep the low digit that's not in here available for here. So this can't be 4. These can't be 4. So 4 is restricted right here. All right. I mean, let's just fill these in. This might reveal something here. This column needs 2, 3, 5, and 6. Okay, that's not 5. That's not 6. Neither one of those are 6. And these cells here are 1, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this is not 1 because of the 1 in the row, and this is not 5 because 5 in the row. Seven. Okay, 7 is placed up here. Oh, that's helpful because that means this is a 6. That's a 7. Oh. Okay, what about this now? I'm just going to keep going this way. So we have this 1, 2, 8 as well. So for the entire column, we need 1, 2, 4, 8, 9. 1, 2, 4, 8, 9. So let's just go through here. This is not 9, obviously. This is not 1 because of 1 in the row. I guess that's pretty wide open there. What am I not looking, or what am I not seeing? So 6 is in one of these two cells. Let's mark that. Oh, this can't be 1. Neither can this. Remember, these ones point. All right, let's go up here. We need, what is this? This might be restricted because 4, we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 are all going to be in here somewhere. So we need a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the box. So obviously not 6, 7 here, not 9. That's just 5, 8. This is just 8. Is that right? Let me just make sure. It can't be a 1. It's not going to be 2, 3, 4. It can't be 5, 6, 7. It could be an 8. So this has to be an 8. I'm just thinking, why can't 8 go here? Why couldn't 8 go in there? Let's think about this again. I just want to make sure. This is not a 1. It's not going to be a 2, 3, or 4 because we need those digits in here and then one more in here. It's not 5, it's not 6, it's not 7, it's not, or it could be 8, and it can't be 9. So that has to be an 8. And that has to be 5. Okay, that's not a 5 there. All right, that places a 9 down here, if that's correct, which I think it is. That means this is 1. That's not a 9. Okay, so we got a 6, 8 pair. Let's see. So let's see. This is a 3. We placed a 9 here, so that's a 3. That's a 9. This must be 4 now. So that's not a 4. 4 can only go to 4 right here. Take these 4s out of here and out of here and here. And the 1, 2 is resolved. So that's a 2. That's a 1. This 9 cannot be a 9 anymore with the 9 placed there. Actually, this is forced to be a 7 now. The 2 7s look in here, so this is 7. Now 7 has to go with either 1 or 2 right here, and it can't go with 1, so this has to be a 2. That's a 3. Let's go over here. This is not 3 anymore. That's not 2. That's not 2. That gives us a 3, 5 pair, which means this is an 8, 9 pair. Let's do that. So let's see, we have a 1, 2 pair, so that means this must be a 3. That must be a 2, that must be a 1, that must be a 4, okay? Okay, I think we're coming around the home stretch here. That's an 8. That's a 2. Oop, 2, 1. Okay, let's just be careful here. This is a 2. That's a 4. This is forced to be an 8 now. So now this is 9 and 8. That's a 4. That's a 3. 6, 5, 1. 5 and 3. 6 and 8. 2 and 3 and 1. Ooh, 3 in the corner. Always a good sign when you see that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's correct, but I like to think it's a good sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need what do we need here for this row? We need a 9. Okay. And what's left? We need a 2. All right, so the 2 is going to go here, and the last digit is 3. Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, the first time I went through that puzzle, I got, you know, pretty far along, and I came to a contradiction. I think it was on one of the German whisper lines where I thought I had most of the puzzle solved, and one of the whisper lines was not correct. So it's very easy on these puzzles to make a careless oversight, and so I must have done that the first time around. But I hope you enjoyed that solve. I thought that puzzle was great. I really enjoyed it. A lot of nice logic there, and again, let me know in the comments if you did the puzzle. Let me know how you did, and I will see you next time.